Welcome back, everyone. We have an update from Churchill Resources Inc., which trades on the TSXV under the symbol CRI and is a newly listed explorer focused on high-grade nickel sulphide and diamond projects in Canada. Please welcome their corporate consultant, Alec Rowlands. Nice to see you, Alec.
Nice to see you as well. Nice to be back. So I really wanted to take this time to update people on what's really happening in the nickel market and sort of make people understand where sort of Churchill fits in. So we have seen a number of events, corporate events in the last short while in Canadian nickel companies. And this is an important thing to be focused on. Right now, about 2/3 of the world's nickel comes from Indonesia, the Philippines, and Russia. And Russia's not, their nickel isn't coming this way for obvious reasons. And the Philippines and Indonesia is a very low-grade, different type of ore called lateritic ore. It's weathered ore. It is open pit mined. They strip the rainforest effectively. It's 5 to 10 times the amount of CO2 emitted for each ton of nickel produced, roughly. The tailings often go into the ocean. It's not a green process in any way, shape, or form, and it's also 2/3 owned essentially by the Chinese. So the product is basically earmarked for the Chinese market. A big part of it is the EV market, but this is not a product that is really suitable for basically North American and Western European automobile companies who are looking to have much greener and higher grade product to deal with. So what we're talking about in North America is nickel sulphide, not nickel laterite. There's a big difference here. The big global miners are looking for nickel sulphide. They're not looking for nickel laterite deposits as a general rule. So I want to make that distinction for people to understand. There is a big premium going on Canadian nickel projects. 2 of them just recently have seen significant investments from international companies. Most recently, a company called Canada Nickel. It's up near Timmins, Ontario. It's a very large, again, it's an open pit, and it's low grade. It's 0.25% nickel sulphide. But it has, in the last 60 days, both Agnico Eagle, which is the largest mining company in Canada, and Samsung, the battery division of Samsung, have made significant investments into this company. It's a long way from production, although it's perceived to be closer than most others, but it's a low grade. It's a significant capex. So notwithstanding that, big money is coming into Canada and looking for this. This is long life stuff. We need this material for a long time. We're talking about a doubling of the demand for nickel in the next 25 years. And it's not simply about EV. It's for lots of different things. What we're doing is high-grade nickel sulphide exploration in Newfoundland and Labrador. This is a very good jurisdiction. Canada is a very good jurisdiction, generally speaking. Newfoundland and Labrador is ranked number 4 in the world as a mining-friendly place. So this is a great location to be where we are. And what we have discovered is a new, heretofore unknown, large, magmatic intrusive complex. So magmatic is magma from the mantle that brings the mineralization to the surface. We have that. We know that. We're sitting right on the crustal edge of the Canadian Shield. That's the suture into the Earth's crust that allows the magma to come to the surface in the first place. We have a very large channel. It's really a magma highway. It's 13 kilometers long. It is several kilometers wide. It hosts high-grade nickel sulphide. We know all of this, okay? So this is a district-size play. This would be, on the map as a significant district for nickel. If we can take the known occurrences, and you can see some of them here, like 4.5 meters of 2.8% nickel sulphide and 13 meters up at Florence Lake, which is our second project. We need to find a few more holes where we're going to get width and grade, and we will be at the front of the line in regard to attractiveness to mining majors who are looking for nickel sulphide. Here's this is a quick little timeline of what we've done. We've spent quite a bit of money. I would say about $10 million has been spent so far at Taylor Brook, our project in Newfoundland. We are just finishing up a 5,000 meter drill program as we speak over the next month or so. There's a lot of data to be collated here, and we will be putting out a comprehensive press release sometime in the next, hopefully 30 days or so. You can see that the project's Florence Lake is in Newfoundland, in Labrador, south of Voisey's Bay to the north. Voisey's Bay was the big nickel sulphide discovery by Robert Friedland's company, Diamond Fields, in the mid-90s. It was sold in 1997 to Inco for $4.5 billion in 1997. Okay, so that just gives you an idea. Today, that's grown into 140 million ton deposit in total, but at the time of the sale, it might have been somewhere kind of 20 to 30 million tons that they could see. These systems are large. They tend to reveal themselves over time. So once you get onto these things, they tend to be the gift that keeps on giving. And they've even made a more recent discovery at Voisey's Bay just in the last couple of years. So it's a world-class mine. We're just to the south of there in Florence Lake. Taylor Brook is down on the island of Newfoundland. It's on the western side of Newfoundland. There's year-round access. We have hydroelectric power lines going overhead. We have deep water seaports all around us. We have skilled labor. We have a community that wants us there and wants us to build the mine. You can see down in the bottom right-hand corner, Vale has a processing facility, and this is where all the ore that comes from Voisey's Bay gets shipped down to this processing facility for nickel, copper, cobalt gets processed in that facility. So where you have to be, and these are the things you have to have. You can't have some of them. You got to have all of them. Okay. And most in particular, you got to be in a rifted margin. We are definitely there. That's what allowed the magma to come. We have a major crustal structure. We have a large magmatic highway that has gone through it. These are ultramafic and mafic rocks. These are the host rocks that you must have if you're going to have nickel sulfide, and you have to be surrounded by sulfide-rich country rock. It's the sulfide that allows you to get and concentrate the nickel in nickel as nickel sulfide. These things all must be present, and they are all present, and that's why we have high-grade nickel sulfide where we are. We have a terrific camp. This is about 20 kilometers from the project. In the mining world, this is like the Ritz-Carlton, okay? But in terms of, and not because we spent a lot of money, we don't own it. We lease our part of it from another individual, but this is a very, very convenient place to operate from and keeps our operating costs relatively low, which is important. This is the Taylor Brook project. Down into the southeast here, we always say South Lobe Conductor Swarm. This is the actual, the rifted margin of the Canadian Shield. This is the edge, okay? This is that suture in the crust that's allowed the magma to come up in the first place. And if you look here, you can see in purple, this is, recently we got this. This is a resistivity survey, but it's really outlining that this is a 13-kilometer long channel, okay? We're only working up at the north end at the moment because that's where it outcropped, that's where the discovery was initially made. To put it in perspective, that's Voisey's Bay there. That's the footprint of Voisey's Bay. It's about 4 kilometers long. That adds up to 140 million tons. So, this is what we're trying to say. In the nickel sulfide world, it's not about hundreds of millions of tons. It's about tens of millions, and even frankly, single-digit millions will be enough here to essentially validate the system as hosting high-grade nickel sulfide deposits. Having shown that, it will be assumed that in time there'll be many more to be found. And that's really where we are. We are putting a brand new district on the map, and as all the senior mining companies are aware of it now because we discovered it. This was not something that was been reheated from the past, and that's relatively well known or had some historical production or nothing. This is a brand new discovery in an incredibly favorable location, given that you're on the Atlantic Ocean. You've got hydroelectric power overhead, easy access, year-round access. So this is a dream relative to many other locations in the world for development of mining projects. These are some of the guys cutting some of the rock at surface last summer, actually. This is just a summary of some of the things I've just told you. This is a big project. It's a science project, but this is the kind of thing that you will go from a $10 million market cap to hundreds of millions of dollars of market cap, really with one really significant discovery, which starts with a significant intercept. We have 2 or 3 or 4% nickel sulfide. We need to find it over 10, 20, 30 meters of it. And that's all you're going to have to demonstrate. Everybody will understand the significance. These deposits are rare and they're very valuable. The last significant nickel sulfide deposit discovered in Canada was, frankly, Voisey's Bay, and that was almost 30 years ago. So it gives you some idea. We got a big job in front of us. If we are going to meet the demand for high-grade nickel sulfide, which is what you need to make Class 1 nickel, which is what you need to make energy-intensive batteries for electric vehicles, but many other things. 75% of the market is stainless steel. Specialized alloys for the military is a big part of this as well. EVs are a pretty small part of it at the moment, but they're expected to grow quite dramatically, and there is just not enough around. And so when we see interest in 0.25 projects like Canada Nickel and another FPX Nickel or 0.25% nickel sulfide, nothing wrong with them. They're very large. They got a lot of contained nickel. There's no doubt about it. But going to something that's 1.5, 2% nickel sulfide is a much better product to start off with. Mother Nature has already concentrated it for you. So that's what we're working on, to bring basically a district scale play, brand new to the market with a significant discovery, and we hope to be able to show a significant progress in the next 30 days or so. If there's any questions, I'm happy to take them.
All right, that's a lot of progress, Alec. We do have a few questions and just a few minutes. Lon Saunders asks, how far away are you from sourcing a production partner?
Well, first of all, it's not about production at this stage. We're a ways from that, but we are at the discovery stage at the moment. We have had discussions with not all, but I would say of the dozen global miners that have an interest in nickel sulfide. We've talked to them all. We've had more than one conversations with several of them. They're all paying close attention here. They understand. I mean, just to give you, there was a nickel sulfide discovery in northwestern Ontario about 15 years ago called Eagle's Nest. It was a Canadian company, junior, 20 million tons of 1.5% nickel sulfide. That's what it turned out to be. But it's in the middle of nowhere. There's no infrastructure. There's no roads. There's no power. There's nothing. And so that's the capital costs are high. Still, it was bought for $600 million a couple of years ago by an Australian company. So we've talked to all of the big companies. They all get it where we are. We are an incredibly advantageous location with everything that you need. So it's very simple, and you have a supportive local community that can't be overstated. You know, you can't work in an area where they don't want you. Okay. And you got to be somewhere where people say, yeah, this is exciting. We hope this gets done. So we have that, and you don't have all the problems that go along with things when you have people working against you.
And two quick questions to end from Roger. One, has there been any showing of any more desirable targets from the drilling?
Yes, there have. Absolutely. We'll be updating people on that when we put out some news in the next 30 days or so. But further to that, that's up at Leyden where the drilling has been taking place. But there are targets that are being worked up along the entire trend now. I mean, we know that the gabbro norite, which is our host ultramafic rock, underlies the whole trend from top to bottom, all the way back into the south lobe of the Taylor Brook gabbro. And there's some very interesting where we've got excellent geochem samples. It's high gravity. It's high magnetics. It's got we can see resistivity targets within it. There's a very, very compelling area that we are going to put a lot more effort into starting, in the spring and summer campaign.
And last question from Roger. It's an industry question. I'm going to butcher it, but has the CSAMT shown conductors at Lit 1 and Southern Target, and how deep?
Okay, so the CSAMT does not show conductors at all. It shows resistivity, okay, which is a rocks that allow current to pass through them. So that's what we're looking for. And the resistivity is a targeting tool, and the CSAMT has been excellent. Okay, where we have low resistivity targets, that turned out to be, in many cases, we drilled in the majority of the holes that we have drilled so far. We have had tens of meters to hundreds of meters of mineralized breccia. Okay, that is a strong indication that you are moving closer to the heat engine and the source of things, and so that's very encouraging for us. That's been up at Layton, but we are going at LIT and at TBSL1, which is what I referred to just a moment ago. We will be drilling there in the spring.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for this update. Congratulations on everything, Alec.
Thank you very much.
Okay, everyone, stay with us. We've got one more update. We'll be right back.